So it's time. You're finally excited to start losing weight and to get in shape. Your motivation's high, you set up a plan, and you start. But the real question is, will you still be doing this a few weeks from now, when that initial excitement wears off and the motivation drops? Now, this is one of the biggest issues that I faced in the past myself, and it's something that I see over and over again with people that I work with. So in this video, I want to talk about ways you can set yourself up for success so that you stay on track and not just start. One of the first things that I learned was to avoid extreme changes because for me, extreme changes are not something that I could stick to long term. I realized over time that if I'm making exercise or eating modifications, that those changes need to fit my life. They need to be something that I could stick to long term. Now, I know a lot of people, and myself included, create extreme plans to try to get results fast, and I've done that many times in my life. But I found that whenever I did that, those plans became short-term plans. They weren't things that I could maintain for a long period of time. And I realized that if a plan is too different from the way I exercise or the way I eat, it's not something I could stick to because it's not fitting realistically into my life. For example, what are the chances of success of somebody who's really sedentary going to the gym multiple days a week for long, intense sessions? Or somebody who basically eats processed food, fast foods, fatty foods, saying, okay, I'm going to start doing this low-cal diet of grilled chicken, rice, and broccoli. It's probably something they might be able to stick to for a short period of time, but can they really stick to it for the long term? What's worked best for me is to make sure that my plan is realistic and it's something that I can maintain. I usually start with just a couple of simple changes that I implement and work on over time until they become a part of my routine. And then I just build from there. So to start, for example, it might be a matter of just doing a 30-minute workout twice a week, or just making one or two simple changes to the way you eat every day. Another thing I found that once I started, the real question was, could these changes become and stay a part of my life? Now, a lot of people, when they start making diet and exercise changes, when they stop, they generally don't quit on purpose. It's just maybe life got too busy and they tend to forget about it. Not because they don't care, but because nothing in the routine changed to support it. If changes in your diet and your eating are not worked into your normal week, then it's very easy for them to fade out once that initial motivation drops. So I found that I needed to build it into my schedule just like anything else that matters. That means adding it to my calendar, setting up reminders, and treating it like any other appointment that's important. Because I found that if it's not scheduled, it's just not real. And then I'm just hoping it's something I'll get to. I also had to accept that what I needed to do might not always feel good, but to just do it anyway. The beginning phase is easier to get started because you're motivated and you're excited. But the real question is, are you able to still do what you need to do when the motivation's gone, when you're tired or you just don't feel like it? One important thing that I learned was that you don't have to feel like working out to go work out. I needed to disconnect what I needed to do from the way I felt. The people who are successful in attaining their goals and sticking to their plans don't always love every workout. They just show up regardless of how they feel. And another thing is to expect a dip. Just know that motivation will come and go or it will fade. It's normal. And when that happens, the important thing is to just do what you need to do no matter what. And that's what really discipline is. Discipline is not something you either have or don't have. It's a skill that you can develop. And you develop it by keeping the promises that you make to yourself. So the next time your excitement wears off or the motivation's not there, just don't overthink it and go do what you need to do. Another thing that really helped me was to have a minimum that I could fall back on for both exercise and eating. So for those days when I was too busy or the motivation wasn't there, what would be the bare minimum that I would need to do to stay on track? For example, for exercise, it might be just doing a 15 to 20-minute workout with 2 or 3 exercises, or to take a short walk. For eating, maybe I just try to stick to some reasonable guidelines for the day that have helped me in the past. And by having these minimums, it allowed me to stay on track and to do something toward my progress instead of skipping or going off plan. And I've learned to focus more on trying to be consistent instead of perfect. And for me, that just means staying in it and to keep going. There are always going to be those days that aren't great, where the workouts are shorter than I would like them to be, or the meals are not the way I want them to be. But what really matters is staying on track as best as I can. And as long as I'm moving toward my goals, even if it's imperfectly, I just know I'm moving in the right direction. And finally, I remind myself why I'm doing this and why I need to be doing this. For me, being over 60, I'm fighting against the decline of aging. I want to make sure that I am maintaining as much strength, mobility, and independence as I possibly can. So as time ticks away and as I age, it just feels like it's getting a lot more serious. I never want to look back and say, why didn't I do what I could have done? The fear of that regret gives me the kick in the ass that I need to just keep doing what I need to do. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you like what I have to say, click the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.